we are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. We heard when Parikshit Maharaj came to know that he was cursed, he was actually happy. Then he went to river Ganges. Maharaj Parikshit sat down firmly on the banks of the Ganges to concentrate his mind in Krishna consciousness, rejecting all other practices of self-realization, because transcendental loving service to Krishna is the greatest achievement, superseding all other methods. This we have to realize. By the help of Shastra and Sadhu, that is the greatest achievement and only thing worth trying for. Otherwise our sadhana will be slackened. But Maharaj Parikshit understood, this is what I have to attain. And we heard the river Ganges, by which the king sat to fast, carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves. Therefore, that water sanctifies the three worlds, inside and outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. Means everyone, we are all destined to die. Krishna said in Gita, one who is born will die. It is sure. So we who are mortal, we have to take shelter of Ganga or pure devotee to be rescued from this mortality, to realize that we are, our real self is immortal. That is, we have to do. And our Gurudev told, you don't know when you will have to give up this body. And there is no guarantee that you will get this human birth again next life. Bharat Maharaj, he went to forest to do bhajan, but by prarabdha karma came there in the form of that deer. So he thought, I have to take care of him, otherwise he will die and there is no one. So he became so attached to that deer that he lost all his sadhana bhajan in the forest. Then at the time of death, he was thinking about that deer, and next life he became a deer. Still, his devotion was not lost. It is never lost. So he understood, because he was on very high stage of devotion. So he could remember his past life and he understood what was his mistake. Then, as a deer, he left deer family and went to stay near one ashram of sadhus, devotees. He was staying there. And he used to hear their kirtan and harikatha and also eat remnants of their food. Then he got rescued from that deer body, and next life he became Jora Bharat. He was fully realized soul. So, but he acted like as if he is mad, in order to not be entangled in these worldly things. Father, he was Brahmin, he tried to train him in Brahminical duties, Gayatri and Yagya and everything. But Jora Bharat, he was already beyond that. He was pure devotee, realized soul, perfected. He was not he acted like a madman, and his father also gave up that idea. Then he rescued that Rahugana king. When king asked him, "Do you know who I am?" "I am king. You are my servant. Why you are behaving like this? You are not carefully carrying that palanquin. You don't know I am a king." Then Jaura Bharat asked him, "Who is the king? And who am I?" From realized platform. No one is king in reality. That is material designation. So because he was fully realized soul, he asked him in such a way that king felt that this person is speaking reality that touched his heart. And immediately he was a bit awakened, because he asked him, "Who is the king?" Then he got some awakenment, and then he understood he must be some realized soul. I also felt sometimes when Gurudev was speaking, even with some ordinary, when he said, how do you understand? Always I felt that he is relating to me as a soul. I felt that. And also when I was in Italy, 2009, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj was there, so we went morning walk. So I had one question for him, and I was sitting in front of him, 20 centimeters on the bench in park, means beach-like and under trees. Then I asked him something in regard to Harikatha. In previous day, one Maharaj said something, so I wanted to hear from Srila Narayan Maharaj what he meant by that, Swarup Gyan. Then Narayan Maharaj, he was looking into me with that blue eyes. And he said there are 4 types of Swarup Gyan. Svatattva, Paratattva, then Sadhana Sadhya Tattva, and Virodhi Tattva. Then he said Svatattva means who you are. That time also I felt how he said that he was relating to me as a soul. You can feel that it is different when some realized soul says you, or someone else calls you by this name or like this. They can see they're on that platform, and they're directly speaking to you as a soul. So in this way we have to take shelter of realized souls. Otherwise this human life will be wasted. Our Gurudev told any moment we may die. What will go with us? Anything can go with us. All these material achievements which we may gather, so much money, so much property, what will go with us? Nothing will go with us. So why you are giving whole time for these material achievements? Only devotion to Krishna will go with us, as we see in Gajendra's case, in Britrasura's case, this Jaura Bharat, that is going. So Bhagavatam also in 11th Canto, Bhagavatam says, Labda sadurlabam idam bahu sambhavante manusham artadam anityam apiha dhira turnam jateta napateta anumritu javan nishreyasaya vishakalu sarvatasyat. We got this human birth after many births in other species. It is very rare. but it is Arthadham, very valuable because it can give you what you really require, Arthadham. And Labda Suduramidam Bahu Samavanta Manusham Arthadam Anityam Apihadira, but it is temporary, Anityam. So those who are dhira, intelligent, or sober persons, Turnam Jatetana Patetanu Mritu Javan, Nishreyasa Bishakalu Sarvatasyat, they will immediately start bhajan to get ultimate welfare. Nishreyasa, ultimate welfare means devotion to Krishna, eternal welfare, because they know this sense gratification, eating, sleeping, mating, defending of many kinds in different species was already available in these other birds. That was already done. So this human birth is not meant for this, or only for this. So those who are sober, they will immediately start, without any delay, before another death occurs. You don't know when it will happen. So why take risk? So here, Parikshit Maharaj knew, he was actually happy. He knew after 7 days, I will die. Before 7 days, I will live. So he was seeing this as a blessing. Now I can prepare. But we don't know exactly, but we also have 7 days. All of us. We have 7 days only. Because either you will go on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It is short. 7 days only you have. So immediately we have to take shelter of Ganga Devi, means devotion or pure devotee, and utilize this human life for what is meant for, to attain eternal welfare. Otherwise we will be frustrated. We will go on with this suffering of this material existence, and at the time of death, Ebe na bojile Jashoda Sutta, charame poribe laje, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, if you will not worship son of Yashoda now, you will regret later on. At the time of death, you will regret why I wasted, why I misused, wasted my time for nothing. So here Parikshit Maharaj, he understood, this is what I have to get, and he went to take shelter of Ganga. Iti vyavachidya sapanda veh prayopavesham prati Vishnupadyam dadhau mukundangrim ananya bhavo munivrato mukta samasta sangha. Thus the king, the worthy descendant of the Pandavas, decided once and for all, and sat on the Ganges bank to fast until death and give himself up to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who alone is able to award liberation. So, freeing himself from all kinds of association and attachments, he accepted the vows of a sage. We have example, Raja Katvanga. In Puranas you will find. He fought on the side of demigods against demons. And after fighting, they won. So demigods were very pleased with support of Raja Kaltanga. They offered him, you take any boon you like. You want good health, we can give you. You want money, you want fame, you want these all things, this weapon, that all. Then Katwanga Raja asked, how long will I live? Then demigods, they brought some astrologer. They're good astrologer. They will not commit mistake. They have that knowledge. So that astrologer saw you only have one muhurta left. Muhurta. Muhurta means 24 minutes or one moment like this. Then he said, then what is the use of all these things you are offering me? What is the use? You liberate me from that. They said, no, this we cannot do. That only Vishnu can do. Then immediately he left, rejected all demigods immediately, and went to the lotus feet of Vishnu and fully surrendered to him and got liberation. He realized his eternal relation and gave up body and went to Vaikuntha. It is possible for everyone who will submit like this unconditionally. Gurudev told me, you can get in one moment, you can get. If you want, means if you will unconditionally surrender, in one moment you can get. It is possible. Krishna is not delaying. We are hesitating. We don't want. That is the problem. He's always waiting. We don't want, because so many attachments, association, all this, enjoyment, spirit, all this. So we have to associate with realized devotees. They will cut through these things. And also one time in Calcutta, I was thinking, means I was planning to express my heart to Gurudev. That when I'm chanting, I'm always thinking something else. Speculation, mental speculation, even some imagination about Krishna or something. So I was thinking only, means I was planning today, after Gurudev will water Tulsi, when he will go and he will ask, how are you, and something difficulty or something, then I will tell him. So when Gurudev came, then he saw me. He said, you have any difficulty? Already he understood what is in my heart. He was smiling with that naughty smile. He says, you some difficulty you have? Then without me telling with words, I just showed like with this, with hands. Yes, some difficulty I have, but not telling anything. Then Gurudev said, you should always think of Krishna. You should always think of Krishna. And Gurudev, when he's speaking about Krishna, Krishna is Krishna. It's not some imagination or that. He said, you should always think of Krishna. Because he will rescue us. Isn't it? Then I said, yes, because I felt Gurudev was speaking from a realized platform. It was a fact. And Gurudev wanted to fix my mind to Krishna, because that will be beneficial for me. Nothing else can help me or rescue me or is of any benefit. Only Krishna can give real benefit. He is the only one who can rescue us, isn't it? So if one realizes this point, then naturally he will always think of Krishna, only he will take his shelter. Like here, Parikshit Maharaj understood he gave himself to Krishna fully. Why? Who alone is able to award liberation. He's the only one who can rescue. So if he's the only one, then we have to take his shelter, not thinking other things or my own effort or like this. Then your mind will be fixed. So Gurudev, he will rescue us, isn't it? Then I said, yes, what I can say, because Gurudev told absolute truth, fact. And it was very inspiring. And like really, he can catch your mind. Then he said, you should think, because I wanted to say, I'm thinking so many things. Then Gurudev told, you should, first he said, you should think about Krishna, because only he can rescue us, isn't it? Then further he said, you should think what Krishna wants. And you should do that, isn't it? Then I said, yes. So realized souls, they have their mind fixed on Krishna and they know why. So by their grace, we can also get some, at least we are inspired to practice that, because that is a fact. So here, otherwise it will be wasted. So association of devotee is necessary, or Shastra. When Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, this Sanda and Tamarka, your teachers, they said they did not teach you Vishnu Bhakti. So from who spoiled your mind? No, that was before. He said, from whom you got this Vishnu Bhakti? Then Prahlad said, it is not possible to get it. I did not get it by my own effort. Also, I did not get from them, Sanda and Tamarka, or for any other conditioned soul, or with combined effort. If you combine 8 billion people, or how many there are now in the world, if you combine all together, they cannot give you one drop of devotion to Krishna. I didn't. Matirna Krishna Parato Swatova. Not from others, not from myself. Swatova. No. Because they are all attached to their senses, body, and this illusion, they are all attached. How they can give? Impossible. Only one who is Nishkinchan means he has no sense of any proprietorship. Anything is mine. He cannot see like that. He sees everything is Krishna's. I am Krishna's. Everything belongs to Krishna. He is Nishkinchan. No attachment, wrong attachment, no proprietorship, nothing. One who is Nishkinchan, a real devotee, fully surrendered to Krishna, pure devotee, if you take bath in the dust from his lotus feet, then you can get your mind will go to Krishna. Your mind will go to Krishna by the grace of such devotee. Or Shastra also. Devotee is more powerful medicine. Then it is possible only if you have association of realized soul, then he can fix your mind on Krishna, because his mind is fixed and he has a reason for that, and he can explain and can inspire you. Matirna Krishna Parato Swatova. Also one time in Delhi, Gurudev, I asked him, you gave importance to chanting Harinam. But what about reading Bhagavatam? Then Guru said, yes, you can read Bhagavatam, but now I cannot speak Raslila to you because you have no attachment to Krishna. Then again, that time I felt it was something different. Really, I felt what is meant, really someone who is attached to Krishna fully is focused on him attached, and what is my present condition. Because when Gurudev expressed what is the meaning of attachment to Krishna, means rag to Krishna, attachment, then you can, but if you have no rag, then how you can understand that? It is impossible. So now you have to hear, you can hear Bhagavatam, but now you have to hear. Then he asked me, what Prahlad Maharaj said. Then Gurudev told, Prahlad Maharaj said, I got it from Narad, means from Guru. Isn't it? Yes, so it is by the grace of bona fide Guru or Vaishnava that our mind can go to Krishna. So here, Parikshit Maharaj understood. And he dedicated himself, he gave himself up to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who alone is able to award liberation. So freeing himself from all kinds of associations and attachments, he accepted the vows of a sage. That is what we have to do in this human life. This human life is meant only for this, not for any other enjoyment, this, that, or liberation. That is also, renunciation is not natural for Jiva. That is also wrong, fully wrong, renunciation. Natural for Jiva is only devotion to Krishna. Because we have eternal relation with Him. We are eternally related with Him as His servant. No one can cut that relationship. That is eternal. We may not be aware of, we are in illusion, but it is there, always existing. We are out conscious, bahirmukha, not in reality, and that relation is not created, is already existing always, and no one can cut that. But we are forgetful due to aversion to Krishna and Maya catch. But real devotee, they can bring us to back home, back to Godhead. Tatro pajagmur bhuvanam punana mahanubhava munaya sashishya prayena tirtha bhi gama padeshe soyam hi tirtani punanti santa. So here in previous verse, he accepted the vows of a sage. These are the vows of a sage. He gave up all material perception, understanding, association, all this, and gave himself up to the lotus feet of Krishna. This is what is the vow of a sage. Not only you will put some dress. I will give sannyas dress, that dress, or white dress, or something. I will become sadhu. No. When you do this, practically, when you give yourself to Krishna, that is, then you are a sage, not by changing dress. There are many, Shiva said there are so many, they are cheating, for some other purpose they are, but practically this is sage. At that time, all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by their disciples and sages who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage, just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. Our Gurudev told, yes, here also it is, they knew something will happen because Parikshit Maharaj is not ordinary person and Ganga is there and he wants to fast till death. So when they came to know, they immediately went there. They knew something will happen. Here also in commentary, but on the plea of taking a bath in that place, they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit because they could foresee that SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM would be spoken by Shukadev Goswami. All of them wanted to take advantage of the great occasion. That was only pretext. Yes, we will take bath in Ganga, but they actually went because they knew something will happen. Something uncommon will happen, something very auspicious. They could sense that. Atrir Vashishtash Chyavanah Sharadvan Arishta Nemir Brigur Angirascha Parasharo Gadi Suto Tharama Utatya Indra Prama Dedma Vaho Medhati Tir Devala Ar Shtisheno Bharadvajo Gautama Pipalada Maitreya Aurvah Kavasach Kumbhayonir Dvaipayano Bhagavan Naradascha. See what kind of, you will find in Puranic Charitavali, their biography is there. Chyavan, from him that Chyavan Prash, Ayurvedic, is coming. If you take that original one, as he made it, with those articles, that can cure you of everything. And you can have perfect health by taking that Chyavan Prash which he made. From different parts of the universe, there arrived great sages like Atri, Chyavan, Sharadvan, Arishtanemi, Brigu, Vashishta, Parasara, Vishwamitra, Angira, Parashuram. Parashuram is Shakti Besh avatar. Utatya, Indra Pramada, Id Mavahu, Medhatiti, Devala, Arshtishena, Bharadvaja, Gautama, Pipalada. Pipalada is many times in Upanishads. Pipalada. Maitreya, Aurva, Kavasha, Kumbhayoni, Dvaipayan means Vyasadeva. And the great personality Narad. So here they're explained, they are not ordinary persons. Gadisuta or Vishwamitra. Anya cha Devarshi, Brahmarshi Varya, Rajarshi Varya, Aruna Dayascha, Nanarshya Pravaran Sametan, Abhyarcha Raja Shirasa Vavande. There were also many other saintly demigods, kings, and special royal orders called Arunadayas, a special rank of Rajarshis from different dynasties of sages. When they all assembled together to meet the Emperor Parikshit, he received them properly and bowed his head to the ground. Sukopavishteshu athateshu bhuya krita pranamah sva chikiršitam yat vigyapayam asa vivikta cheta upastito gre vigrihita pani. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. Rajovach, Aho vayam dhanyatama nripanam mahatama nu grahanya shila Ragyam kulam brahmana pada shauchat durat visrishtam bata garhya karma. The fortunate king said, "Indeed, we are the most grateful of all the kings who are trained to get favors from the great souls. So, generally, you, means sages, consider royalty as refused to be rejected and left in a distant place. Because royal, they are interested in all the time making more money, more land, property, all these things. So sadhus, they have nothing to do with them. They're always waging war for this and that, and for money, for sense enjoyment. But he's a different type of king, Parikshit Maharaj. So generally, you consider royalty as refused to be rejected because they are blind and left in a distant place. Blind in the sense, not blind, they are not seeing, but blind in the matter of spiritual realization. When one wants spiritual realization, he cannot give his full time for material acquisition. No. Taseva meghasya paravaresho vyasakta chitasya griheshu abhikshnam nirveda mula dvija shaparupo yatra prasakto bhayam ashuddhate. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of both the transcendental and mundane worlds, has graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. He sees like it is by Krishna's will. Behind everything there is Krishna. So they are seeing grace of Krishna in all circumstances. Nothing can happen without the will of Krishna, and Krishna is all good. So it is His grace, it is for my benefit. They can see, but conditioned souls, because we have selfish desires, we cannot see that. That is why we are always disturbed. And we cannot solve any problem. Due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. He's saying, it is good for me. It is helping to me. Because he sees the grace and the consequence of that. But if we have only, and that is, one is Shreya, one is Preya. Shreya is what is beneficial as a result. In the beginning it seems like poison, but result is good. But Preya means immediate pleasure, but consequences will be bad. So majority of people of this world, they are only after Preya. Immediate sense enjoyment, and they will accumulate money only for this, without thinking about any consequences. Vast majority, almost everyone. But some rare, fortunate persons, they will understand this is the path of bondage. But there is another path of eternal welfare. It is like a poison in the beginning because you have to restrict yourself. from these enjoyments, or you have to restrict, but ultimate result will be nectar, eternal bliss. So they accept this path. Those who are dhiras, again, in Katha Upanishad, dhira, those who are intelligent or sober persons. So he understood it is the grace of Krishna for me. Otherwise, if he would not be intelligent, then he would think it's very bad. Why I have to die, and why this all I want to enjoy. So we will go to oppose, because we think that is for my benefit. But he understood, no, Krishna made this for my own good. Tam mopayatam pratiyantu vipra Ganga cha devi drita chitamishe dvijopasrishtah kuhakas takshakova dashatvalam gayata vishnu gata. O Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul, and let Mother Ganges, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird, or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created, bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. Ganga. Here in Sanskrit it is not mentioned Ma, Ganga, but Sai Maharaj he gave, because it is true. If you get some realization of Ganga by her grace, then you can feel really she is like a mother. That kind of affection she has. Ganga Maya, Ganga Ma. Some people they say, no, this is not there in the verse. Why he's because that is realized thing. Not a literal dictionary translation, but according to realization. He's a perfect example, Parikit Maharaj. Punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante ratih prasangascha tat ashrayeshu mahatsu yam upayami shrishting maitrastu sarvatra namo dvije bhyah. Again, offering obeisances unto all you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should again take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. You see, some days back we were remembering this. How a real devotee never prays for liberation, also not. Only devotion to Krishna. If I have to take birth, no problem, by the will of Krishna, whatever is his will. But I should not have any separate desire. My desire is only his service. So he is praying, if I take birth, no problem. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur also said, in hell or heaven or wherever, or bird, beast, Brahma, insect, no problem. But let me have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. Suhrida Sarva Dehinam. This is a accompanying quality of a sadhu. Later in third canto, Kapil Bhagavan will describe to Mother Devahuti the symptoms of sadhu. So original quality of sadhu is one-pointed, exclusive devotion to Krishna. And accompanying qualities are tolerance, forgiveness, and all those things. And one of them is Suhrida Sarvadehinam. Ajata Shatru, he does not consider anyone as his enemy. And Suhrida Sarvadehinam, he is friend to all living entities because he's seeing a relation with Krishna. He does not see anyone as enemy and friend. You are Chinese, we are Indians, we will have to fight. No. They say all are jivas coming from Krishna. This sort of enemy he does not see. He also does not see he is to be blamed for my suffering. I got suffering because of him. No, this he cannot see. I got the result of my own previous actions. He is only instrumental. So he is not having any hostile mentality to anyone. And Suhrida Sarvadehinam, he is loving, friendly to all living entities because he sees we are all interrelated, we are all relatives in relation to Krishna. Like mother automatically loves her child because it's her own child. Naturally, for one whom you think is your own, you will have natural love. Like that, they are seeing all jivas are my own relatives in relation to Krishna. So he, although they may be conditioned souls, they may do wrong activities, they may be averse to Krishna and do sinful activities, everything they are doing, bad actions, that they will not support. But they will have friendly, means well-wishing and friendly and compassionate and like this attitude to all living entities. They cannot hate anyone or wish anything bad for anyone or behave violently, or cannot. Impossible. So Parikshit Maharaj knows what is transcendental platform when one sees all living entities as related to Krishna and he's having friendly relations with all, means favorable, loving. Iti sma raja dhyavasaya yukta prachina muleshu kusheshu dhira udan mukho dakhina kulaste samudra patnya swasutanyasta bhara. In perfect self-control, Maharaj Parikshit sat down on a seat of straw with straw roots facing the east, placed on the southern bank of the Ganges, and he himself faced the north. Just previously, he had given charge of his kingdom over to his son, Janmejaya. He gave, I'm going to forest, you take everything. Evam cha tasmin nara deva deve prayo pavishte divi deva sangha prashasya bhumo vyakiran prasune mada muhur dundu bhayas chanedu. Thus the king, Maharaj Parikshit, sat to fast until death. Our Srila Bhaktivedanta Puri Goswami Maharaj also he told, you have to chant Harinam till your last breath. This is what all we have to do. He was fasting till death, means he's in the service of Krishna, like you will find in Chaitanya Upanishad. Pipalada came to Brahma and asked him, I want to know how people of Kali Yuga, they will be rescued from sins. Then first Brahma told him, first you go and do tapasya. Then after 1 year of doing tapasya, then you come again back to me, then I can tell you. Because it needs preparation first, but there it is written, Brahmacharya, celibacy like this. You have to follow. But our Srila Bhagavad Goswami Maharaj, he was daily explaining Chaitanya Upanishad. He told that tapasya means chanting Harinam. You go for 1 year, you do tapasya, means all the time you chant Harinam, and then you come back to me, then I will tell you. Like in Ayurveda, first you have to clean these things by certain process, then treatment will come. Not immediately, because it will not work. Like here, if we are not ready, we cannot enter. So here, fast until death means we have to give up all sorts of enjoyments, sinful activities, take only prasad, and fast on Ekadashi, and chant Harinam all the time until death. That is for everyone, not only for Maharaj Parikshit. All the demigods of the higher planets praise the king's actions, and in pleasure continually scattered flowers over the earth and beat celestial drums. In this one verse I will read. Maharshayo vai samupagataye prashasya sadviti anu modamana uchu prajanugraha shilasara yat uttama shloka guna bhirupam. You see. All the great sages who were assembled there also praised the decision of Maharaj Parikshit. This decision we all have to take. And they expressed their approval by saying, very good. Once when I told to Gurudev that now we are reading Bhagavatam every day, then he said, very good. Nityam Bhagavata Seva, very good. So they approve this thing. They don't want money and these things. They will not approve that. But they want you should engage yourself in the service of Krishna, then they will say very good. So here they said, naturally the sages are inclined to do good to common men, for they have all the qualitative powers of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they were very much pleased to see Maharaj Parikshit, a devotee of the Lord, and they spoke as follows. They approve, very good. So tomorrow we will hear what all the sages they spoke.